Hello, everybody. This is Anna Frankel, Akashic record reader and channeler, with another Monday message. And today I am going to be talking about how do you feel feelings? How do you feel the feels? And I'm actually going to make this a two-part video because there's a lot of information to get through. So, in this first video, I want to talk about the importance of feelings and emotions, and then in the second video I will post up next week, it will be how you actually feel the feels. All right. So, feelings, emotions, why are they important? Well, there's a lot of things that emotions are trying to do for us. Mainly, they are trying to tell us something. They are trying to tell us something about ourselves and our interactions with the situation or the world around us at a moment. And so it's very important that we actually feel emotions and feel feelings and let you process them. Like, as they say, you have to go through the feeling. And a lot of times when you don't process them, there could be problems or issues because feelings and emotions don't just stay suppressed and hidden deep down in our bellies. They actually will erupt out of us in inopportune ways and times. And they can definitely build up and turn into negative actions or negative reactions in ways that we don't actually want to. So there is an importance of actually trying to feel through what you're going through. So, as I mentioned, emotions are trying to help us know more about ourselves in this situation, how we're reacting. So, for example, anger could represent the need for boundaries because people have crossed something, crossed a line for you, or done something that you don't like. Shame may mean that you need acceptance, and fear is where you may feel very powerless, or you feel that you have no control over anything, so you feel very fearful. And if you regret something, you may need forgiveness. Or if you're disappointed, you had these expectations, either known expectations or unknown expectations not being met. So then you have this feeling of disappointment. And for, let's say, like anxiety, you need to build your self trust, you need to build your self confidence. And if you're feeling sadness, that may mean that you are grieving. You're grieving something, even if you may not actually know what you're grieving for. But these are just various examples of what emotions may be trying to tell you. Then again, in our society and culture, it's a mixed bag how people accept emotions. A lot of this array of emotions, and trust me, it is a wide array of emotions and range, uh, are suppressed because in our society, they are not necessarily accepted as good or positive. So, for example, the anger, the disappointment, the frustration, fear, shame, those are all considered very negative types of emotions. But then when you're happy and you're joyful and you are confident, these are great emotions. And so, a lot of times people don't feel some of the more icky, sticky, quote unquote nasty feelings because it was not acceptable either in society, from their families. Maybe they were considered too emotional or too sensitive. And so we end up just coming to a place where because we're trying to avoid negative emotions, we become very flat, which actually leads us to having even um, a more dull version of these happy or positive emotions. So that's why the full range of emotions should be felt and expressed, because it really helps you to get into the depths and the meaningfulness of each emotion that you will feel, including the ones that we hope to feel much more often, which are the happy, dappy, positive ones. And really, again, besides trying to tell you something through emotions and feelings, feelings are trying to move you towards something or avoid something in the most basic biological essence of it. It's chemical triggers that happen in us, and as we were, monkeys in the forest, or, cave women, cavemen, hunters and gatherers. We just had to react very quickly to a lot of things. In our modern day world, some of this very old programmed biological emotional triggers and reactions don't hold true anymore. And so we need to be a little more uh, clarifying in how these emotions affect us and what they mean for us in our modern lives. So, when it comes to emotions, we're going to try to feel them. So, the first thing with this, again, this is a two-part video, but the first thing I want to say is don't not feel them. What's that mean? It means a lot of us do anything and everything to avoid feeling stuff, feeling anything, and certainly to avoid feeling discomfort or negative emotions. We might doom scroll on social media. We might binge eat. You might go smoking, or you might push your feelings onto somebody else. Somebody else feel that, not me. Of just normal avoidance, or maybe in a more negative connotation, you might do drugs or hang out with people who do not actually serve your highest good and support you feeling what you need to feel and go through. So there's a lot of instances where we are just at first avoiding them. So I want to put out, because of the importance of emotions and feelings, we want to set kind of some ground rules for ourselves. So, first is just accept that you have feelings. Yes, you are an emotional being, you are an emotional creature. You will feel things, good and bad, and accept that this is a normal part of human nature. And because it's normal and it's just inherent in all of us, you don't have to judge it. There's no reason to ignore feelings and emotions, good or bad. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to bash yourself when you feel stuff or be ashamed of what you feel. And you certainly shouldn't prevent yourself through utter avoidance from feeling what you need to feel. And you aren't trying to solve problems. You are not trying to change your emotions or convince yourself of anything when you're feeling feelings. You are just literally experiencing them, and you're letting it be. You're letting it exist just as it is, out in the open, and without judgment and with acceptance. So, actually, I would like you to be curious about your emotions, that you're an explorer into a new cave of depths of yourself, the depth of your being, and knowing yourself further through emotions. And we want to be able to explore and accept, so then we can express them. And that's going to be in next week's video, is how to actually express your emotions, even the ones that are uncomfortable. And when you are able to display and experience all the emotions that you have in you, in the breath of you, in the magical variety of emotions that you actually have and feel in yourself from day to day, minute to minute, second to second, you're going to actually be able to have a much more intense, much more vivid living experience, because you are not just seeing through your very physical five senses of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. There's this almost like the fifth sense. Oh, sorry, sixth sense. I was thinking of the movie when I said that. But there is essentially a sixth sense, which is just this like emotional being. And it is very energetic and connected to yourself as a soul. So as we let ourselves express and feel them, we're going to have a greater understanding and knowledge of ourselves, a greater understanding and knowledge of our connectedness to ourselves, therefore, a greater understanding and knowledge of our connectedness to others and to the rest of the world, and our place in the world. And there's times that we may not fit in the place, but we should understand what we're going through. And if we kind of close off a portion of that experience, aka the feelings, then you're not really grasping the full lesson learned of the situations you're going through, the relationships you're connected with. the people you're interacting with, and just what's really happening. So, emotions really are helpful in the spiritual sense just as much as in the real world mental health sense. Being able to feel also helps you have better mental clarity, have better calmness and relaxation in yourself, because you're not spending half of your energy trying to suppress or avoid something. You've expressed it out, and all your energy can then go towards whatever direction that you want it to go to. So, there's a lot of actual well-rounded reasons why feeling the feels is important. So please stay tuned for next week's video about some exercises and ways to process your feelings and your emotions and get through the feels to the other side and have a better experience living your life. All right. So please, again, like and subscribe to continue to watch this two-part video series. And I will see you next week on how to feel the feels again. All right. This is Anna Frankel, Akashic Record reader and channeler, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.